2014维州大选，批议员争席次，两党 PK， 绿军蠢动，选情看澳星，澳洲议员我来选。
Mr. Premier, my name is Xavier. I'm very thrilled to having this chance. First, I want to express our gratitude and honor and excitement for being here and having the chance to talk with you. It's our pleasure, greatest pleasure.
It's an absolute pleasure, Xavier, to have you here, and we look forward to a lively discussion.
And the last time was April this year, 2014.
With the Prime Minister as part of the visit of the Prime Minister with all premiers visiting China. So I've seen an enormous number of changes and growth in opportunities, which has just been really exciting. I've been to China a number of times. I first went to China in the early 1990s, and I've been back about 5 times since, and I love China. I think there's enormous opportunities there, enormous growth. It's a very diverse and vibrant society and hugely growing economy, and I think there's great opportunities for China and Victoria.
Okay, for the 1990s tour, what was the purpose for you to visit? May I ask that?
In the early 1990s, I went on a mission with fellow Liberal politicians and to go to Jiangsu province as part of the sister state relationship, but also took the opportunity to visit a number of the cities, Beijing, Xi'an, Tianjin, which is Melbourne's sister city, of course, and Shanghai. And at that stage, China was really just starting to emerge as an economic powerhouse. And it's been wonderful to go back a number of times since and see the growth and development of China and the increasing relationships between Victoria and China and those increasing opportunities. More recently, since the election of the coalition government in 2010, I've been twice as part of trade missions, and they are really terrific opportunities for Victorian businesses to engage with China, and for us to also look at Chinese investment into Victoria, and whether we look at Sino-Hydro or Power China, they are major companies that are investing in Melbourne and Victoria.
You have just mentioned about the Chinese investment, and they are growing these days in Victoria as well. So what's your attitude towards those enormous Chinese investment, growing daily and daily to Victoria, this wonderful state? What's your attitude for that?
Well, I'm from a Liberal Party, and the Liberal Party is pro-business. We're very much in favour of growing and developing business. We think growing business produces benefits for all Victorians and all Chinese. So this is a great opportunity for us. So we want to open our doors to business, and we're certainly looking for our businesses to grow and develop opportunities in China. And similarly, we welcome Chinese investment and Chinese involvement in our business here in Victoria. And particularly, I come from country Victoria, in southwest Victoria, where there is a significant dairy industry, and with the impending free trade agreement, which we are supportive of, that provides great opportunities for our dairy industry, our meat production industry, our horticultural industries. And so we would welcome opportunities into China, but also welcome Chinese investment into our industries across a range of areas.
Yeah, we're more than delighted to hear that. And so as we know that the history of the Chinese community in Victoria almost start with the history of Victoria own, dates back to the gold rush hour, that golden time. So today, how do you think? What is your perspective about the contribution that the Chinese community, together with the locals, that they together to contribution to make the world's #1 livable city in Victoria such a great place? What's your perspective?
Well, my vision is to make Victoria the #1 state in the best country in the world, and our Chinese community have been a vital part of the development of Melbourne and Victoria, dating back to the 1850s, to the gold fields, and we have many generations of Chinese who've been great leaders in our community. And just in Melbourne, we can think of Wellington Lee and John So, former Lord Mayor of Melbourne, who are great leaders of our community, and the Jack family in Bendigo. So we've got a great history of Chinese involvement in all areas of activity, whether it be arts or culture, whether it be science or medicine. All of those areas, there's been great contributions, particularly in business. The Chinese people have been great business people in Melbourne and Victoria, and indeed in my own family. I'm one of a large family. I'm one of 10 children, and my sister is married to a man of Chinese extraction who's from Sabah, from Malaysia, but Chinese ethnicity. And so I'm very proud to be the uncle of 2 nieces and a nephew who are proud Chinese Victorians.
Wonderful. Yeah. So let's move forward a bit to the coming election. We have learned that there are more Chinese faces involved in the state election more and more these days, like the late Gladys Liu and William, and lots of, well, there are more faces than ever. So what is your attitude about the more Chinese people who come from Chinese background and more involved in the political activities in Victoria? What is your...
Well, the Liberal Party strongly supports our diverse, multicultural, multi-faith community. We believe it's one of our greatest assets. And we're very proud that in this election, the Liberal Party is fielding 35 candidates from various backgrounds, including 3 candidates from Chinese backgrounds, and Gladys is an outstanding candidate, and William and George are also really good quality candidates, and we would certainly love to have Gladys elected to the Parliament and William and George, but we have a diverse multicultural group of candidates, and including Sean Armistead in Frankston, who's of Indigenous descent. So the Liberal Party embraces multicultural Melbourne and Victoria, and they are representative of our candidates. But Gladys is certainly the shining light of one of our candidates, and we certainly look forward to Gladys being elected to Parliament and taking a place in Parliament. She's been a part of my team when I was Premier here, before she's become a full-time candidate, and she's been a great advisor to me, and she's been a great contributor to the Victorian Liberal Party, and she'll be an outstanding Member of Parliament, and we wish her well for the election.
Yeah, therefore we wish our best luck to Gladys as well, and really congratulate you if you could. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Let our voices heard by the Victorian people.
There's no doubt the voice of the Chinese community is heard loud and clear by the Liberal Party. We've got 3 great candidates of Chinese background, and Gladys is certainly an outstanding candidate.
Okay, so you have mentioned about the word delivery a lot in your campaign, like delivering a better healthcare, delivering a better public transport. May I ask why this word? Why not creating or establishing or funding a new something like that? Why this word?
In our services, it's about actually achieving results. It's about delivering outcomes.
Yes.
And so delivering is the right word. And for example, in our health system, while we're investing a record amount of money and we're building a record number of new hospitals, but it's really about delivering better outcomes. And what we're seeing is, because we're treating more patients, we're actually reducing the waiting lists. So we're delivering positive outcomes for Victorians who are waiting for elective surgery. We're delivering positive outcomes for people who visit an emergency department, and we're delivering positive outcomes in increasing the number of beds and the number of hospitals that are available to people.
Yeah, so considering the fantastic delivery you are going to make, and so how much confidence do you have and to continue to lead the government of Victoria, and where have those confidence come from?
Well, an election's always a very tough and challenging fight, and democracy relies on the choice of the people, and we'll leave it up to the people of Victoria. Exactly. But we believe that we have delivered for the people of Victoria a strong budget, a AAA budget with surpluses now and each and every year. We're the only state or territory in Australia to do that, and we've fixed the budget problems that the previous Labor government left behind. So a strong economy which helps us deliver better health services, better education services, and builds the sort of key infrastructure, like the East-West link, like the Melbourne Rail Link, the Airport Rail Link. And these major projects not only employ lots of people, but they actually improve productivity and efficiency. So businesses can do their business more efficiently, but also people who are travelling to and from work get home quicker to their families.
We have learned that you were being a politician for quite a long time. There must be hard times and good times as well. So how does being a politician, how does being the Premier of Victoria form your life? Can you answer that question?
Well, I come from a farming background. I'm one of 10 children.
10 children, yeah.
And my mum and dad were heavily involved in the local community, so I learned about community service.
Yes.
I'm a trained veterinarian. I worked as a veterinarian in country Victoria, looking after sheep and cattle and dogs and cats. Yeah. But I've been in politics now for over 25 years, and I've enjoyed each and every minute of it. I enjoy working with people, listening to people, helping people, and what gives me a great thrill is making a difference so we can improve something for my community and also for the larger community of Victoria. For example, I've worked with people with disabilities, and indeed I have a foster son who's got severe autism. And to be able to sign up to the National Disability Insurance Scheme for everybody with disabilities in Victoria is a real satisfaction to me. So to make a difference to people, making a difference to individual Victorians, families and communities is really what inspires me and really what makes me get up each morning and enthusiastic about the job I do.
Okay. So the decision of making a difference probably, well, I suppose appeared on your early life because you went to University of Melbourne for veterinarian, but you changed to business and then political stage and afterwards. But what made you to why did you want to go to study veterinary in the first place and jump out from that?
I grew up on a farm, and I loved animals, and I loved working with animals, and I loved helping animals. So I enjoyed being trained as a vet and working as a vet. But when I was working as a vet, I also then tried to help farmers keep their animals healthier and more productive.
It's like another level of
stuff. So
yeah.
It's about prevention of problems rather than fixing problems. So you see if you can improve their productivity, their efficiency, rather than just fixing individual animals. And that makes a difference on a bigger and bigger scale. And that's where I got interested in the community I was living in, how I could help make the community a better place. And that's when I got into politics. It's about how you can make a difference.
Yes.
And that's what really inspires me.
Yes, that's a good point. And that's pretty much at the end of the conversation. And is there anything more you want to add to the audiences and readers of our Chinese community?
Well, I'd like to say that how much I enjoy working with the Chinese community. The Chinese community are really great contributors to Melbourne and Victoria, dating back to the 1850s. But more recently, we've had a lot of Chinese migration, a lot of Chinese investment, and the Chinese are really driving the economy forward. They're driving our state forward, and we appreciate the great contribution of the Chinese to our community. We look forward to having greater Chinese representation, Chinese Victorian representation in our parliament, and I think that the opportunity with a free trade agreement allows us to go to another level in terms of engagement between China and Victoria and Australia, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited about that. I think this is a great opportunity, and I love every piece of Victoria, but I certainly enjoy thoroughly my visits to China, but most importantly engaging with Chinese people. They've got a great sense of humour, they've got a great sense of being able to work hard, but they also know how to enjoy themselves, like many, many Australians.
我很高兴可以跟我们的州长接受我们的这个电视台的采访。那作为我们维多利亚州州议会的候选人呢，我感到很荣幸。因为呢，我有这个机会可以帮助我们的华人在更好的融入我们的主流社会，特别是我们的州长丹尼斯纳凡先生的带领下呢，我们的自由党、国家党联盟政府是真的可以为我们的维多利亚州所有的市民做很多的事情。我们在过去4年做了很多把这个经济从这个负数，就是这个赤字，现在呢有盈余。那么我们往前再看的话呢，就是怎么样可以把我们的 服务啊、建设啊这些再扩大一点，为我们所有的维多利亚州的市民，可以在不管是交通或是就业医疗、教育各个方面都提供更好的服务。
You should be lucky to have her.
I am very lucky to have her as part of our team.
Yeah.
And we
I'm
look
very
forward to
lucky
being.
to be in the team as well. Yes.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's pretty much the end of the
Thank
conversation.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Nathan, and
好的，
thank you
好
for this.
好，谢谢。